Hello and welcome. We are joined here today with the fantastic London Pulse coach team to discuss everything about the signing window, what's been happening and what's upcoming for the season. So ladies, how are you all feeling about the signing window so far?
I'm glad it's finished. It's been pretty tough. As I'm not sure if everyone's aware, but we obviously have the final on Saturday, have a day off, and then the signing window opens on a Monday. So we haven't really stopped working since the season ended, and I've been working really hard to make sure we retain a really strong squad and strengthen it.
Yeah, definitely. And just taking a look back at the season, what's sort of been some highlights? I don't know if you want to go on and each of you give like a key highlight from last season.
I think mine probably is the fact going to extra time 3 times and managing to see that out. I think it shows testament to the strengths of the squad and actually the capacity we have to win games. But yeah, I mean, it's nerve-wracking at the time, but afterwards it's a great feeling when you come out of those extra times with the win.
I can imagine.
I think you're a lot cooler than I was.
I mean, I'd obviously have to call out the least number of goals against us through the season. So I think, is that the 3rd year on the trot?
Probably. 3rd or 4th.
3rd or 4th year on the trot. So it was good to keep that record. So that remains a highlight and a focus for us next season.
Definitely. And Sam, what about you?
I think probably the Loughborough match to get us back into the final. I thought that was probably the first game where we just really motored, and I thought that was our best performance of the season, and was particularly powerful given we'd had a difficult loss the week before. So the resilience and the character the players showed to then come out to beat a very informed Loughborough to get us back in the final was probably my favourite game.
Yeah. Nice. And obviously there's been lots of highs and a few lows as well, with a few injuries along the way. How do you think you've sort of dealt with that over the season?
It's been a lot harder this year, hasn't it? Last year we didn't have any injuries the whole year. So we were probably, I mean, it's testament to our backroom staff and everybody keeping the players on the court. But, you know, it was almost a perfect season last year in terms of always having all our players available, whereas this year we had injuries from the first round. So I think Tyler missed the first round. Livy was then unavailable for a couple of games, then Liz, then Gracie. So it was a very different, more challenging picture for us this year. And I think, again, the staff did really well to get those players back on track. But it definitely presented new challenges for us as a coaching team in terms of what we were going to do, who we were going to bring in, what our options were.
Yeah, I mean, that's definitely fed into the considerations for what we need to focus on for the new squad this season.
Yeah.
Because we did feel a little bit exposed at one point for various reasons.
Yeah.
The rule around international players and where you can place them on the court, the backups that we need in the event of injury, and that definitely has played into what we need to focus on next season.
Yeah,
I mean, Nat's job, of many of them, was to stop me screwing up, putting the 2 import players in the same area of the court. So for people that don't know that rule, it's an absolute nightmare of a rule. So even though Camo is a goal attack, goal shoot, and then Tyler was a midi, that's fine, you can recruit that way, but they can't play in the same third of the court. So when we start to play Camo at wing attack, it's like, don't put Tyler on, because it's a breach of the rules. And it was quite stressful. Like when you're thinking like natural changes to make, then you've got this extra layer of who can we put where, what does that then do to the shooting end? And shooting end in particular, Nat had quite a lot of challenges with that, didn't they? In terms of covering the wing attack.
Yeah, and I think also, as well as, I mean, they did a good job of covering the wing attack, but I think what we recognised is actually throwing new goal attacks into wing attack consistently, because it is a really different game. Then when they're going back into shooting, it's sometimes really difficult to make that transition from mid-court to shooter. Yeah. You know, if you've been playing wing attack for 3 quarters and then we're saying, right, put up some super shots and we're in the last quarter, it's really tricky. But I mean, they coped with it well. We still managed to get through to the final with those injuries. But yeah, it was definitely a challenge.
And shout out to the physio staff, S&C, for getting these guys back on court as quickly as possible. And as you can imagine, I'm really calm about having players absent. So they did really well, you know, looking at the welfare of the athlete, but also recognising the club needs them on the court. So it's a challenging balance.
Yeah. So looking ahead then, let's talk about next season. What's going on? Everyone's obviously been speculating online about what that's going to look like for Pulse. Obviously, you've got one of the best defensive units in the league, and I'm sure everyone's really eager to find out if you've retained that for this season. So please put us out of our misery, Fiona.
Well, I'm pleased to say that we have.
Fantastic news.
So we've retained Hallie, Fumi, Darcy and Zara. So you know, a unit that I've now worked with for over 6 years, I think it is. Is it 6 years? Most of them have been there for 6 years. So, you know, Zara, I think, is known for her relentlessness, shutting down the player, her arms over. And I think this season, I think that, you know, the shift in her game has been the number of interception tips that she got this season. She's also a bit of an unsung hero, I think. I would say that because I was an ex-wing defence, so but that's always the case. But she shows real leadership on the court as well. Both from the front end with Gracie, who's, you know, new to the Super League, the amount of support and guidance that she provides to her at the front, but also her work rate is just, you know, unbelievable. So brilliant that we've still got her. Fumi, what do you say about Fumi? Most number of intercepts and deflections in the whole league. That's, you know, and that's been the second, third year on the trot. You know, she is an outstanding player. And as Sam, I think, said earlier, one of the best defences in the world, sought after by the SSN. For our ability to retain someone like that has been really important for our squad.
And I think with Fumi as well, like, she has evolved in terms of her ability to work with the unit as well. Like, you've worked really well with her in that, haven't you? Like, it's not just Fumi like doing her own thing and everyone working around her. She's really adapted to working with Hallie. And
no, definitely. Look, we came into the season knowing that we had to do better on rebounds. We came into the season knowing that we had to do better on the 2-point shot period. And I think that all of those things that we improved on as the season went on. I wouldn't say that we had a great start on the 2-point shot period. I think we gave too many opportunities. But I think we really worked on that through the season. And, you know, in the big games, we really shut down some of those dominant players. So, and Fumi, you know, will always come out with the big intercepts at the right times in the big games. And that's what you can always rely on her for. But likewise, I think she got stronger on rebounds, boxing out. That was a big focus for us through the season. And she got much stronger on that. And likewise, something that she doesn't get noticed for as much is carrying the ball through the court. You know, she's a really good attacking defender. And I think that got stronger through the season as well. And we were relying on that quite a lot. So, you know, her game continues to evolve and she continues to get stronger. Hallie, I think, is known for, you know, being in front, that dominant, strong defender. And this season, I mean, one, it's the rebounds and the boxing out and getting the rebounds, but also looking where there's opportunity to get ball. And she flew out of that circle so many times this season, way beyond what she's done before. So that was great to see. But also, she provides real leadership at the back. I mean, the amount of talking that girl does, sometimes a bit too much. But the guidance and the direction and her understanding of the game is second to none. You know, she's going to be a great coach because she's got a really good understanding. So she's had probably, I'd say, her best season so far. So not surprisingly, you know, we were concerned that she might think about going somewhere else, but thankfully for us, we've managed to keep her. And then for Darcy, I mean, Darcy, every time she came on this season, she had a real impact. She is great on the arms over, on the shot. She's great on the rebound. She's a great ball carrier. And she's got huge potential. And the fact that because of how she impacted on the game, she got called back up for the Roses this year. Roses A. You know, it's a great accolade for her, but well deserved. And I'm really excited about how she's going to develop as a player.
Fantastic. I'm going to throw a slight curveball in because everyone always is mentioning, aren't they, how Fumi might be going to the SSN. What are your guys' thoughts on that?
Do you want to take that? Or
You go.
The first thing to say is we're very ambitious for our players. So anybody that's in our club knows we're ambitious to try and win. We want our players all to be the best version of themselves they can be. And Fumi has had interest from Suncorp for a few years now already. That said, she's still developing as an athlete. She's obviously one of the world's best defenders, going to Commonwealth Games along with Hallie in the back end. And for us, I think if a point came where we felt that she needed to push on and develop by playing in a different league, then we would have those conversations with Fumi and support her with those. The reality is at the moment she's playing in a world-class defending unit. She's got an outstanding defence coach working with her. The level of competition in our training environment is high. And when we come on to who else we're signing, that will be obvious as well. And I think we still believe Fumi can develop her game further by being in London. She is a local girl. She's grown up in London. She's very attached to London. Family are here. So I think for her it's really important that if she does move abroad, she's got to be happy in her personal situation to want to do that as well. Yeah, it's obviously fantastic for us to keep her, but also shout out to the loyalty of these players. You know, it's in the modern era, you don't necessarily get players that are genuinely attached to their club, and you can say that these guys are, and a lot of the players we've retained are genuinely Pulse players and very proud to play for Pulse, and for me certainly one of those.
Definitely. So obviously moving on to Midcourt now, we've obviously had Tyler depart the club. Everyone's obviously all speculating who is going to take that position. So would you like to give us a little insight into what that's looking like?
So I think the first thing to say is just recognition of the great work Tyler's done over the last 2 seasons. It's not just what people see on the court, which is a strong player that can play across 3 positions, but her off-court behaviours, coming from Australia, having played in the Adelaide Thunderbirds environment, she brought a lot of sort of professionalism over to the club on a peer-to-peer level. And so I think it's worth just recognising the sort of impact she's made. And while she's been here, you know, we've 1 gold and 1 silver in 2 seasons, and she's a strong part of that. In reality, she struggled a little bit this year with a few ups and downs on injuries and not quite hitting form, and the import rule on playing together and court time injuries probably had a bigger impact on her court time than we would have hoped. But throughout all of that time, she just behaved super professionally, team first person. So she's a hard act to follow from that perspective. When we started to talk about a new Midcourt replacement, we knew we had an import place there. But very much part of our DNA personally as coaches and of the club is also to develop England players. So we did what, you know, all clubs will do. We sort of started talking about who's around, and then this player's name sort of just floated to the top, really, principally for her. She's got an outstanding work ethic. She's a talented young player. She's been through the England pathway, and she's local to us. So it's like she's been away to university, and we wanted to sort of bring a local athlete back that we could support. So we have signed Bella Bayliss, who was at Leeds last year, has been in the Loughborough Super League side as well, and we're just really looking forward to bringing her back and letting her express herself as Bella. I think she felt like she wanted to get back to playing to her own superpowers, and she's got ridiculous vertical jumps, nearly as high as Fumi's. She's a really good athlete, but a really good talent as well. Great feeding volume, which is, when we come on to shooters, will be key for us in terms of what we need as well. So we're really excited to bring Bella into our midcourt.
Fantastic, that's really exciting news. Obviously great that we've got Bella signing with Pulse for next season, but tell us a little bit about who you've retained and what that looks like.
Well, Gracie and Alicia in the middle are little, what's the female equivalent of a bromance? Yeah. They've become really good friends.
Sisterhood.
Sisterhood.
Yeah.
They've become really good friends off the court. And they're just, again, I think this is what I love about our club, is that they're able to just be themselves within our club. And Gracie's obviously had a meteoric rise, which we knew she would when we signed her. But she's a great mix of just being naturally very confident, but also listens. So I think Fee mentions, she listens to what Zara's saying. She listens to what Alicia needs and wants to fire as a wing attack. And she's obviously got a huge wingspan, but she's much more than that. Her ability to feed, she's one of the highest feeders in the league at centre. She's just got it all, but she still recognises she's got a long way to go, which is what makes her a very dangerous player, really. Yeah. And she's obviously been called up into the Roses this year, well deserved in my view. Yeah. And she is only 17, and to be elevated into the Roses squad, sort of testament to the performances she's put out. And Alicia is, I think everyone knows I have a real soft spot for Alicia. I like small, quick players because I was one 100 years ago. But I like the fact that our team has all that diversity as well. I think there's a danger of netball being really boring if everyone's just the same build and height and plays the same way. And Alicia is the absolute antidote to that. She's speedy. She doesn't know what side of the court she's coming out on. You see her umpire, she's dreadful. She doesn't know any of the rules. She's just a free spirit with a really intelligent understanding of the game. Her vision is probably what she's inherited from her dad, I would say. The ability for her to see a long option on court when nobody else can see it is just exceptional. So she's a wonderful personality as well. And she says what she thinks. Everyone knows what she's thinking at all times. But she's an outstanding player on the court. So those two together are just a fantastic combination already. And they were both really positive about playing with Bella as well. So I think those three attacking middies are going to really enjoy playing with each other as well in terms of what they can do and playing to each other's strengths. And one thing we should probably mention as well is we haven't really had the opportunity to put Gracie back to wing D. And Gracie's a great wing defence as well. And again, with Fee as a coach, it'd be great to have Fee coaching her in that position as well. So there's options there to sort of bring Bella in, move Liz back, move Gracie back. So we feel like we've just got a lot more diversity in that little group now.
And what do you think this Midcourt unit now offers in the league? Obviously, the NSL is getting a lot more competitive. Great players are really coming through. And how do you think you'll be able to combat that with this Midcourt selection?
I mean, the Midcourt that we've got is so varied in their, well, you said superpowers before, and they're so varied in their superpowers. And I think that is just a real strength when you come up against different teams because of the different styles and the different things that we can throw out. So you've got the speed of Liz, who changes on a sixpence, can hit the circle edge, can feed off, can feed on. You've got the long arms of Gracie, who can drive to pocket, and sometimes they've sent her balls, you think that's not going to get there, and Gracie just plucks it out of the air. Bella now as well, with her vertical jump, she can get to those balls as well, the feeding capacity of her too. And as you said before, Zara just being able to shut everything down at the back, she's relentless. And so I think any team coming to face us should probably really fear that midcourt. And if you look at it, you could actually have an England full midcourt there out of those players. Yeah. And you've got experience, like varied experience. You've got Zara, who's obviously the most experienced in terms of the amount of game time that she's had over the years, all the way through to Gracie, who doesn't have as much experience, but oh my gosh, she's playing like she's been around for years. So I think, it's a really scary midcourt for anyone to face. Definitely. And I think also they can take on any midcourt in the league without a doubt.
And obviously you just touched upon there, a lot of the players in the club have got international duties. So how do you sort of manage that with pre-season and getting all the girls ready to go?
Badly. It is a challenge. It's sort of a benefit and a curse at the same time. But we all had a call with some of the girls in camp last night. We stay in touch with them. They know that we support them in terms of their international careers, very much back them. It is difficult, particularly, again, when we come on to shooting, that they're all now prepping for an international game where there's no two-point shooting. They're obviously working with different players there. Anna will be looking for different things to maybe what we're looking for at international level versus club. But I think part of the comfort blanket we have, even though I'll be stressing, is that we've retained 8 players from last year. So that consistency in the squad is really important. So they can hit the ground running. A lot of them are working together in England camp as well. So those connections are ticking over, and we've got season upon season now of those connections. So it's a bit like we miss them. But it doesn't take them long to come back in and reconnect. But lots of them we won't probably get fully until middle of January.
And that's the challenge, isn't it? That you get them and literally a few weeks later you're going out for your first game.
Yeah.
But we're not the only team that face that. But they definitely, off the end of the international season, are tired. So they're coming into our environment tired. So we do need to think about how we manage that this year so that they get a proper rest before we start pushing them out there in the games. And I think that the Super Cup is a good test for us in that first weekend to really look at some of our new players as well, coming in to be able to rest some of the other players who've literally come directly off international duty. So, so that's one thing for us to think about, certainly.
So obviously bringing Bella into the squad, how do you feel like she'll fit in with the current players that you've already got in that selection?
Yeah, I think she's already played with a number of them in different settings. She's played with Gracie at club level. She's played with Liz and Soph at England. So there's already some embedded sort of connections there. I would say also with all of our players, hopefully the fans can see that we allow them to express their own individuality, and that's sort of what helps them really shine when they play. And I think that the fact that they understand each other's sort of superpower already, those connections will come pretty quickly. But Bella knows most of our players and has worked with a lot of them in different settings already, so she should hit the ground running, I think.
So moving to the top of the court, shooting circle. Obviously, we've just had the news about Camo departing the club. What's your sort of recap on last season in terms of your shooters?
Well, Camo's a great place to start. You know, she came in and she brought flair to the game, her own unique style, as Sam spoke about before. We like to make sure that our players can play in their own style. She covered goal shooter all the way through to wing attack when we needed her to. Well known for her splits to get herself close to post. And you know what? Under the post, her shooting stats were amazing. So I think she brought some real character to our game. Soph was absolutely fearless. We talked about those extra times at the beginning. The Notts Forest game is still one. She'd struggled. They'd all struggled, to be fair, all the way through. And then we got to extra time, and watching Soph just go on and nail those 2-pointers was amazing. And so she's really stood up this season, considering the season before, obviously, she didn't actually feature, she didn't play in the final. She was very supportive on the bench. And then to take her game and really work on the things that she's been asked to work on, and now she's a 60-minute goal attack, it's been really, really impressive for her. And we're really lucky to have retained Sophie this season, because I can just see her continuing to fly. And Liv, I mean, she's going to the Commonwealth Games. She's the vice captain. She is unbeatable under the post. She can hold the back space. She can move the front space. She's worked really well this season on exiting the circle, taking ball out, offloading and going back in. And again, it's not unusual for her to hit in the 90s, 100% in her 1-point shooting time. So yeah, been a really great season. We've managed to retain Liv this year as well, which I'm sure was no easy task. Again, a brilliant shooter who's well in demand, but just testament to the club really, and the loyalty and the fact that she's grown up through Pulse and and wants to stay again for another season and right the wrongs of not quite making through the final last season. So yeah, really, really good.
Yeah, definitely. And how do you feel like the Super Shot has changed the game for you guys at Pulse?
I think it's really
Because the
interesting.
Super Shot.
It's really interesting because there's been so many conversations around the Super Shot, especially for the shooters, and I think it's probably been a little bit of our Achilles heel this season, not going to lie. There's been a lot of pressure on them to put those 2 points up and working out the strategy when you've got such good defenders that shut down the Super Shot from other teams. It's almost given us sometimes a little bit of breathing space as to just making sure we do the 1 point game really well, which we've done phenomenally throughout the season. But there is a but there. If other teams are having really good Super Shot shooters, we do have to make sure we can compete in that 2 point time. And all our shooters can do it, but there's just been something a little bit missing, I think, this season, which Sam has rectified.
And I think that probably leads nicely onto our new goal attack signing. Do you want to announce, Sam? Over to you.
Yeah, so again, we've had lots of conversations about what we need, and I think we all sort of felt a bit like Nat was alluding to there. We wanted a shooter that puts up 2 point shots like everyone else puts up ones, and they're rarer than hen's teeth in the planet. But to have someone that isn't thinking, oh, it's a 2 point shot, there's pressure, but actually to have a shooter that is super comfortable to shoot twos. You know, before, even when she plays internationally, she'll score from 2 point zone where it doesn't count for 2 points. So it was really important for us to try and get a shooter that can come in to work with Liv and Sophie to demonstrate that sort of skill base, but also I think take some pressure off those two as well, that she can just really add that sort of quality on the 2 point shots. So we have signed Steph Fretwell, Aussie Diamonds and Sunshine Coast Lightning megastar. We're super excited to bring her here. We're just really, really pleased that this is the player we were looking for. And I think if when we're writing down the qualities of the player we were looking for, she's got them. And it's just been good timing and a lot of negotiating, but good timing for her as well to want to come to play in the UK and particularly in London. And I can't wait to start working with her.
I mean, it's an absolutely incredible signing, and I'm sure a lot of the fans would agree. But how did that come about, recruiting Steph from Oz?
I'm just, how do you describe it? I don't know, I'm just sort of relentless. So when we were talking about who we're trying to find to have this sort of missing ingredient we think that we need, we sort of looked at it the other way around. So what do we need? What are those strengths? And then her name obviously floats to the top when you're looking at those strengths. So it's like, okay, well, let's reach out and see. And sometimes things just happen for the right reason. So I actually DM'd her. She doesn't have an agent, so I just DM'd her. She never looks at her Instagram. She's not a big... She said, I haven't looked at my direct messages for like 6 months. And then she was just up in the middle of the night and I've pinged through. And she's like, oh, this is quite an interesting prospect. Let's have a conversation. And so we've had, a few conversations and then some video meeting, and she's just really excited to come over here as well. She's got family in the UK. So there are lots of good reasons for her to come here. But being an Aussie Diamond, all the conversations have been about preparation, what's the program like, where do I practice, how do I, so all of those qualities you would expect from a world-class athlete is they're the questions she's asking, which again is just really exciting for us. And Australia netball obviously is the highest level of netball, and she's been there, done that. She won World Cup, Commonwealth Games. She was Sunshine Coast Lightning's #1 signing when they were created as a club. So it's really, really good for us to be working with her this year.
I'm sure everyone will be absolutely thrilled knowing that she's joining the team, but also people might be a little bit intrigued because obviously she did retire from professional netball last year. So how have you sort of managed that?
She retired. I mean, I don't want to speak for her, but she's had a baby, and I think those two things are sort of combined in terms of, okay, I'm having a family, I've had enough. But I think literally she's had a baby and she's like, I want to play. And I think that happens with a lot of netballers. People do want to play. She's seen this as a new challenge, something that she sort of said that she's always wanted to do, to come and play over here. And so I think it's just good timing for her. You know, she's got no international pressure. She retired from the Diamonds in 2023. So, you know, it's all here as an opportunity and for her to come and shine in our league.
Yeah, fantastic. Obviously, you've got a great lineup now, especially down that attacking end with your Roses players and now bringing in an Aussie Diamond. How do you feel like that will come together as one?
I mean, to be fair, I remember making my dinner and getting the text message from Sam of who she was talking to, and I nearly fell over. Because from an attacking perspective, when you're working with the shooters, having someone of that calibre come in, it's just phenomenal. It's just that, like you said, knowing that they can put the twos up, knowing that she's going to turn and look to post and that she's not going to be fazed by it is just... Yeah, it's such a relief as a shooting coach. So yeah, anything that she comes up against can't be harder than she's come up against internationally, right? Love it.
And it's just that level of expertise and experience that she can bring to the whole team, both defensively in terms of the things that you need to think about defensively. You know, all the way through the court, I think she can bring a lot of expertise that will help to lift the other team's game.
Yeah. And I think as well, like we talk about the super shot, and it's been in SSM for quite a while.
Yeah.
And I think that it's evolving. I feel like it evolved a lot in our league last year, and I feel like it's continuing to evolve. But because she's got that experience of a couple of years ahead of that evolution, so to speak, I think that experience as well will really help in those smart decisions. So when we're talking about the strategy, the tactics of playing that super shot and defending it, I think she'll have a massive impact in that respect.
So from the outside looking in, you've got some world-class defence, you've got an incredible new Aussie Diamond signing, you've got some of the best fans in the league, and you're playing at one of the best arenas, the Copper Box Arena. How does that really come all together to make Pulse who it is?
Well, it excites us. You know, we feel like it's a privilege to be involved with the club. We have got some fantastic fans. They've been really loyal, whether we're home or away. We've got some really hardcore fans that just follow us around everywhere. But the atmosphere at home is just outstanding. You know, when you've got 4,000 to 5,000 fans in the Copper Box Arena, you know, screaming for us to do well. I know the players feel it. Our sponsors and partners love it. You know, it's a great day out. And we're unbeaten at home this year. So it's a bit of a fortress as well for us. And we love playing there. And we're hoping our fan base grows again. I mean, the quality of players in our team, but also in other teams this year, I think you've already seen with some of the other teams that they've also elevated, as we believe we have. And, you know, why would you not come and watch these games? They're going to be fantastic.
I mean, we've seen so many like incredible signs from the fans and the league. Obviously, you've got one here with you today. 100% pulse rate. I love that. But I think maybe we should have a turn around.
I think you need to turn that around.
Come on.
Yeah, come on, Sam. Best bird in netball.
Best bird in netball.
Excellent.
Let's flip it back.
Love it. I guess as well, with the fans being so loud and rallying you up on the day, is it also sometimes a little bit difficult to really get in the zone and focus on the girls and getting things done?
No,
I think it helps.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, and probably has led to the fact that we've not lost a game at home all season. And the crowd really does lift the team. And particularly when, I mean, there was, how many, did we go to extra time at home?
Yeah.
Oh, 3, all at home. I mean, you know, we like to entertain.
Yeah.
But in that period, the amount of noise from the crowd was unbelievable. And without question, that has helped kind of the players lift their game when it really mattered. And I think in every extra time, we kind of went ahead quite quickly. So, it gave us a little bit more comfort on the bench because we just pulled away. One, that's down to, I think, the strength and conditioning that we're doing and the ability for the players to perform at that level for that period. But also, I think the crowd involvement in that made a massive difference.
Yeah. I also think it's the personality of our players. I think we've got big game players.
Yeah.
And so when that noise, you can see their personalities on the court. When that noise comes, they're cheering as well. And I think it just literally lifts them up.
Yeah.
I think if anything, it eggs us on as well. I mean, you stand up and do the old whoop with it.
I think also for the sport of netball, and this is what we want. We want packed crowds, and when we sort of came to Pulse not long ago, 2019. So it's a really short period of time, given we had COVID in between, to have this sort of amazing fan base that are as nuts as we are about netball and really are passionate about the team, and the players do give their time after the game as well, and they take their time to sign autographs and all of that sort of thing. The relationship we have with our fan base is brilliant, and that's what our players deserve and our club deserves. So it's really good that it's just a crazy place to come. It's super loud, it's fun. It's fun. It's not the louder the better, as far as we're concerned.
Obviously, since the professionalisation of netball, you've been to 2 grand finals now. Hopefully we can make it 3 next season. But what do you think that's done for the sport of netball?
They have been 2 great grand finals. As you said, obviously a little bit biased in the fact that much preferred the first one. The venues have been fantastic. The first one at the O2, the second one at the Co-op Live. Netball's gone big. It's gone really big. The fans are travelling as well. We thought that we'd be massively outpowered in terms of fans at the Co-op Live, but actually you could really see the pink in the crowd and the Pulse fans. It's been amazing, and all the entertainment that's on at the same time, and they really started to make it a production. It's really, really professional now. So it's only onwards and upwards. And then, like you say, when we make the grand final next year, I'm sure it'll be just as good.
So obviously, as the club's been growing, you're sort of attracting a higher calibre of sort of commercial partners as well. What does that look like for Pulse moving forwards?
Yeah, it's essential for us. We've got huge ambition. I was last weekend looking at our emerging netballer programme with over 500 kids trialling to try and get into the bottom part of our club and to grow with it. We run 2 academies. We're super ambitious. We know that netball can change lives as being part of our club, and we can't do this work without the investment from sponsors and partners. And now I feel like with the events like the grand final, our ability to play and pack out the Copper Box Arena means that the companies that are prepared to invest in us get their money's worth. And we have a good relationship with our existing partners and always looking for more, because that commercial investment is key to our growth of our sport and our club.
I think also on that, because our games are so exciting, because we have such an exciting squad, because we go to so many extra times, which is stressful for us but great for the fans. I do believe, and correct me if I'm wrong, that we've got the highest number of views as well for our games across. So as you said, the profile and the visibility for our sponsors is really good.
And that's not just me watching them back 100 times. That is, the London Pulse matches are viewed more than any other, probably because they're so to the wire, but also again I think because of the flair of the players that we recruit and their good facial expressions of the coaching team.
So to wrap it all up then, what are you each looking forward to most about the upcoming season? Nat, we'll start with you.
I think, to be honest, I'm really looking forward to working with that shooting unit. Very excited about the fact that we can really interchange and mix up what we're doing this season. I think, as we said right at the beginning, the injuries that we had last season presented challenges that we weren't necessarily prepared for. I think with the squad that we've recruited this season, we're really prepared for that. But I think with that comes the opportunity to really mix up our on-court 7, and I think that is a really exciting prospect for me.
Fiona, what about you?
I'm looking forward to winning. It's probably first and foremost. Look, I mean, we know it's going to be a tough year. There's lots of really strong teams. But I feel that we've got real strength and depth coming into the season, and I'm really excited about working with the whole team and looking to see those players develop as well. So particularly the new ones that we're bringing in, for me it's important that we integrate them as quickly as possible and see that everyone's performing at their best. I would say last season, defence was working well, attack weren't. Attack were working well, defence weren't. And for me, getting that working throughout for every game, as opposed to the odd game, for me it's a consistency of performance. And for me, I'm looking forward to the team being more consistent, for them to work really well as a team. And ultimately to kind of get our trophy back.
Trophies back.
Trophies back. The main one is good.
And finally to you, Sam.
I won't talk about playing again because I think that Nat and Fee have both covered it. We're always openly ambitious. It goes without saying we want to upgrade 3 silvers to 3 golds again. That's not easy. It wasn't easy winning 3 silvers. So we don't say that lightly, but that is always the ambition. I think we've recruited a squad that can do that. But I think for me, it's about packing out the Copper Box arena, having those game days that are a privilege to be part of, connecting with the fans and just really elevating our brand and our sport again up another level. And as a netball fan as well as a netball coach and CEO, I'm always desperate for our sport to step up another level as well. And our part in that is to fill the Copper Box and provide great gameplay, and we're going to do that, and that makes me happy.
Well, it's been fantastic to talk to you ladies today. Thank you so much for your time, and it sounds like you've got a very exciting season coming up. Now, I hope you guys think so too. If you've got any feedback or thoughts on London Pulse's signing window, please do leave a comment below. And we look forward to seeing you next season at the Copper Box Arena.